Hello friends and welcome back. Our today's topic is parallel resonance. Okay, so we have already seen series resonance. So today we will see parallel resonance. Now in order to explain this concept, I have drawn this RLC circuit. So here you can see that RL series combination is connected in parallel with capacitance, and that is connected across a single phase AC voltage. Now when this voltage is applied, some current starts to flow through the circuit. That current we are calling as RMS value of AC current I. Okay, when this current comes at this node, it will get divided into two parts. I2 will flow through the capacitor and I1 will flow through the RL branch. So this is your first branch and this is your second branch. Okay, now what is basically parallel resonance? So as per definition, the resonance which occurs in parallel RLC circuit is called as parallel resonance. Okay, now first of all we will try to find out the condition at which this parallel resonance occurs. Okay, so for that purpose we have to draw the phasor diagram of this circuit. Now in order to draw the phasor diagram of complete circuit, first we will draw the phasor diagrams of first branch and second branch. So they will look like this. So here you can see that R and L are connected in series. Okay, so your voltage will be leading quantity and current I1 will lag, okay, with respect to voltage, and the angle between them will be anything in between 0 to 90 degrees. Okay, and in the second branch there is only capacitance. So we know that in case of capacitance, current will lead with respect to applied voltage by 90 degrees. So here your phase angle is 90 degree. Now when we overlap these two phasor diagrams on one another, we will get the phasor diagram for this complete RLC parallel combination. So your phasor diagram will look like this. So this is your phasor diagram. Two phasor diagrams are overlap on one another. So here you can see that I2 is on y-axis, whereas I1 is in between y-axis and x-axis. Okay, so the resonance is possible only when this first current and second current are equal and opposite. Okay, but since I2 is on y-axis and I1 is not on y-axis, we cannot compare them directly. So what we can do, first of all, we will divide this current I1 into two parts, one component on x-axis and y-axis. So for that purpose we will take vertical and horizontal projection like this. So from the end of I1 we have taken one vertical projection and one horizontal projection like this. Okay, so we will get two components of this current I1. The component which is on x-axis is called as cos component, and the component which is on y-axis is called as sine component. Okay, so suppose this angle between voltage and current is phi 1. Okay, then this component of I1 can be written as I1 cos phi 1. Okay, and the vertical component is written as I1 sin phi 1. Okay, so we have divided this current I1 in two parts, I1 cos phi 1 and I1 sin phi 1. Now here you can see that I2 is on positive y-axis and I1 sin phi 1 is on negative y-axis. Now when these two currents are equal and opposite, you can say that your circuit is in resonance condition. Okay, so from this phasor diagram we can write the condition for resonance like this. So this is the condition for parallel resonance. When your second current I2, current flowing through capacitor, is equal to sine component of first current I1 sin phi 1, if this condition is satisfied, then we can say that your circuit undergoes parallel resonance. Okay, now what happens when this condition is satisfied? If you look at the phasor diagram, you will find out that I2 and I1 sin phi 1 are in opposite directions, so they will cancel out each other. So the only current remaining in your circuit is nothing but what? I1 cos phi 1. Okay, and that current is in phase with voltage, means you can predict that your capacitive part and inductive part will cancel out each other and only current remaining is in phase with applied voltage. So we can say that now our circuit is in resistive condition. So you know that during resonance condition always your circuit is resistive in nature, because capacitive part and inductive part are equal and opposite, so they will cancel out each other. So this is the necessary condition for parallel resonance. Now we have got the condition for parallel resonance. Okay, now we will further simplify this. Now what is I2? I2 is the current flowing through this second branch. So it can be given as V upon XC, because second branch consists of only capacitor. Now what is I1? Current flowing through first branch. So applied voltage is V, and what is the impedance of first branch? Suppose Z1 is the impedance of first branch. Now what about sin phi 1? So in order to find out the value of phi 1, we have to use impedance triangle for the first branch. Now first branch consists of RL combination, so we will draw the impedance triangle. So the impedance triangle for first branch will be like this. So here you can see first branch consists of resistance. So x-axis will consist of resistive part, okay, and vertical y-axis will consist of reactive part. So since we have connected inductor, so this will be XL, and the hypotenuse will be nothing but your overall impedance. So this overall impedance we are calling as Z1, okay, and the angle between these two is nothing but your phase angle phi 1, okay. So now we have the figure for phi 1. Now by using trigonometric rule you can find out the value of sin phi 1. Now what is sin phi 1? So as per trigonometry, what is sine of any angle? It is opposite side upon hypotenuse, okay. So what is the opposite of phi 1? XL. So opposite side is XL, and what is hypotenuse? Z1, okay. So this we will put over here. So what we are getting, sin phi 1 is nothing but XL upon Z1. So XL divided by Z1, okay. Now further simplify this. So voltage and voltage will get cancelled on both sides, and Z1 multiplied by Z1. So what you are getting, Z1 square is equal to XL multiplied by XC, okay. So put these values, what you are getting, 2 pi F into L. So this is your XL multiplied by, what is XC? 1 upon 2 pi F into C. So 2 pi F and 2 pi F will get cancelled. So what you are getting, Z1 is equal to square root of inductance upon capacitance. So this is nothing but impedance of the first branch, this RL branch. So this Z1 we will need in further equations. Now the very first parameter we will study for this circuit is dynamic impedance. It is indicated by ZD. Now what is dynamic impedance? It is the impedance offered by this circuit, RLC parallel circuit, when it is in resonance condition, okay. So we know that at resonance I2 is equal to I1 sin phi 1, and from the phasor diagram you can predict that this I2 is on positive y-axis, I1 sin phi 1 is on negative y-axis, so they will cancel out each other. So only current remaining in your circuit is nothing but I1 cos phi 1, okay. So that is nothing but your total current flowing through the circuit. At resonance, total current flowing through the circuit is given by this equation. Total current I is nothing but your cos component, because sin component is cancelled by current I2. Now what is I? Now as per Ohm's law, I is equal to what? Total voltage upon total impedance. Okay, so this is your I. What about I1? It is current flowing through first branch, so it is nothing but V upon Z1. And what about cos phi 1? So we can again take reference of this impedance triangle. So sin phi 1 is opposite upon hypotenuse. Similarly, cos phi 1 is adjacent side upon hypotenuse. So if you look at this diagram, what is adjacent side? So cos phi 1 we are writing. What is adjacent side? Resistance is your R is your adjacent side. Okay. And what is the hypotenuse? Z1. So what we are getting here, cos phi 1 is nothing but R by Z1. So voltage will get cancelled, Z1 multiplied by Z1. So what you are getting, Z1 square is equal to, if you take Z this side, what you are getting, R multiplied by Z. Now what is Z1? Z1 we have already calculated over here. So it is nothing but under root L by C. So if you take square of square root, you will get L by C. Okay. So this is equal to R multiplied by Z. So therefore what is Z? It is equal to 1 by R and multiplied by L by C. Okay. So this impedance is nothing but the impedance at resonance condition. So we have given the name dynamic impedance. So this Z is nothing but what? Impedance at resonance. So we are calling this as ZD. So what we are getting? L upon RC. So this is the formula for dynamic impedance. So it is the impedance offered by the circuit at resonance condition, and this is measured in ohms. Okay. So here Z1 is the impedance of first branch and ZD is the impedance of complete RLC circuit at resonance condition. Okay. So this is your first parameter for parallel RLC circuit. Now we will see the remaining parameters in the next part, and the links for next part is available in the description. So thank you very much. Have a nice day.